and I would like you to discuss amongst yourselves, how do you feel about it? Do you feel positive or negative, or a mixture of both? And what is it about it and the way it's used that either attracts or repels you?
That's a lot of questions.
You should have had a good idea where this is going to lead anyway.
That's quite deep.
Yeah, I figured it would be.
For me, I'm not opposed to religion, and we've talked about kind of going to church and things like that, but I have a lack of understanding. I read it and I don't get it. I read it and I don't understand it. I'm sorry. And that's why it doesn't scare me, I just don't get it.
I've never read it as a whole. I've only ever read bits and pieces of it, and then you've got, you know, your different stories that you take from it and learnings and teachings. But as a whole, yeah, I don't get it.
I couldn't get past the list of names. I tried and just thought.
Well, I remember going to
big
Sunday
list of
school
names.
and remember doing bits at school, but since then it's, well, I suppose I've picked and chosen when I've thought I've needed some kind of, I don't know, support and guidance.
Yeah, I would totally agree
Yeah.
with that. Yeah, I've chosen to believe in it and believe in what it represents when I felt the need for support or just somebody else to lean on, or when there's a question I can't answer.
I go to church for patches, matches and dispatches.
Yeah.
And I live right opposite the church in Carlby. Mum and Dad's grave's over there, their bench is over there, but I don't feel the need to go to see the vicar. I always say if I need to find the vicar, I'll find him in here, or it used to be the Millstone or the Bluebell. If I wanted advice in that kind of way, I'd go and have a pint with him. I probably wouldn't be comfortable going in on a Sunday morning and worshipping on a normal, what would normally be whatever a normal day.
And I can honestly say I've had some really good in-depth conversations with the vicar at Bar because I felt less pressured.
Yeah.
I went to 3 Roman Catholic schools, but I was never baptised, confirmed, anything like that. And I've had loads of good conversations with people over the years about religion, but I'm pretty much on a whole agnostic. So I kind of I can take it or leave it. I'm interested up to a point, but I don't sign on to any religion. I'm interested in all of them, but.
I think they're all interested in their own right, aren't they? But there's a lot of questions and answers still, I think, for me. And why things have happened, you know, if God is the greater good, why has such and such happened? Why do we have tsunamis? Why do we have hurricanes?
Why does he allow people to be ill and go when families would want to keep them? Things like that. That's difficult.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's difficult for somebody who possibly believes but doesn't believe strongly as to why those things can still happen. Is there still somebody up there who's looking after us?
Yeah. Is it a way of stopping the world from being overpopulated? It's a case of
Yeah.
the old day plagues and that sort of thing. Is it one big wipeout? Okay. I don't know.
But even that's not fair, is it?
No, it's not fair. And that's
When he's decided that we've all made a mess of it, he decides it's all over for us and there's a big whatever. Do you really think that's going to happen, or is it all down to us? Has he left us to get on with it and sort of think, well, there you go, there's your world, you make a mess of it, that's your fault, I'll try and help you, I'll try and guide you. There's a book that has come from what went on in the past, the teachings that I've tried to put forward. You don't choose to follow them, there you go.
Not so.
It's true. Because even if the bad things happen, it brings people together as well, doesn't it? You pull together.
There was like a group of people in the south of France called the Gnostics who were pretty much wiped out by the Roman Catholics in it's probably about almost 1,000 years ago. Basically, the Roman Catholics didn't like what they were talking about, and they were Christian, but their idea was that the world is run by an evil God, and the real God has been usurped, sort of thing. But they took it in a different way, and obviously the Roman Catholic Church didn't like that.
But isn't it all about your understanding and your interpretation of what you read? Because you take out of it what you want out of it, and you do like anything in life. You only ever hear what you want to hear that makes you feel right, and you almost push away the negative
Confirmation
stuff.
bias
Yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah, you are. And you interpret it to how you want it to be to suit your needs.
at that particular time.
Yeah, and I think that's true for kind of any way of life, really, not just kind of like the Bible, but you just take it and, you know, is there really 50 gods out there? You know, one for us, one for matey boy down the road, and is his God any better than our God? No,
Well, that
it's just a different
you
point
could take
of
it
view.
that that book was written several years after everything was supposedly happened anyway, so that
Supposedly
is
300 years.
that is an interpretation
How much
of the
do you
people at the time who wished to write that.
How much do you
Anyway,
know about the
in a
17th
level
century?
way.
Not very much. You know, that's what I always think. 300 years after he was around, that's a long time. A long time. How much do you know about somebody in the 17th century? Not very much, on the whole.
History's only ever written by the victors. They only ever hear of that particular side of things.
Yeah.
Interesting theory I thought about, or someone told me about, was what if it was written by the Roman Empire as a propaganda tool? Who knows?
Why
We
would-
don't know, do we?
Why would they build Jesus up to be something superb to say that they'd killed him then?
Well, yeah.
And
true.
that theory there would have been, well,
True.
no, they probably wouldn't have done that.
But I mean, a lot of it, they hacked on extra bits of mythology to help, like for example in Ireland, lots and lots of religious sites in Ireland used to be pagan sites, like Knock, the hill Knock, whatever it is. That's an old pagan site, and many, many places were taken over, and it's almost like the Druids decided that there was this Christian religion coming in and they couldn't do anything about it, so, well, let's just merge the two together. That's why you see lots of yew trees next to churches,
Well,
because
that's not
that's
the
what
worst thing in the
used to
world, is
have.
it? Togetherness,
No, no.
with regards to religion. If
They knew
started
that
it,
they
then
knew
that
there was nothing.
sensible,
They knew there
rather
was
than
nothing.
fighting.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
They're still
Yeah, but
fighting over various interpretations of what,
Yeah, but
what
whilst
could be
everybody
classed.
has a difference of opinion, nobody will ever come together. And what one person sees as good, another person will always see as evil. But is that the right way, wrong way? Who knows?
We weren't put on this earth to be all be the same, were we? But we weren't put on this earth to fight either.
No, I just think just be good to people. That's all you need to do.
Very true.
All the 10 Commandments boil down to that. Don't hurt people.
Treat people the way you wish to be treated yourself.
But
Even
what-
if you still get a lot of it back, you still try and treat people the right way and hope it comes back in the end. Will it? Who knows?
So what stops you, me, anybody going to church and understanding it a little bit more? Because I've been to a couple of times where the things have been said, sort of about the Bible, and they've actually really hit home. To the point where I actually asked if there was any classes that you could go, like a bit like Sunday school, to actually have a better understanding of actually what it really means, and can you take anything out of it to help you?
Like an adult Sunday school.
Yeah, a little grown-up Sunday school.
As a way of winding up, and I'm very grateful, guys, can I just ask you one question and, elaborate as much or as little as you wish? But if I or someone else could answer every question that you have about the Bible and about God and about Jesus, would you then believe?
Don't not believe.
Yeah.
That's it, I don't not believe. I just have a very short attention span, and it, to a certain degree, it bores me and confuses me, so therefore I have no interest in it. But I do believe.
Is that just because you don't understand though? It's not that it
Yeah.
bores you. Because for me, I believe there is something definitely out
Absolutely.
there, but I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
I think that'd be, and so I just
So
switch
you
off.
kind of, yeah.
I wouldn't say I believe, no, but then I try not to commit to anything. We'll see. That's why I'm agnostic. Agnostic about most things. We'll see. Maybe.
We put it another way then, especially for you two ladies. If we could get a class to teach you about how to understand it, would you attend that?
If you made it interesting. It would have to not bore me to tears.
It would be interesting if
Yeah.
we were behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know
Have
that
a
sounds...
laugh with it.
Yeah,
Just
I think, yeah,
be
because-
normal with it.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, the Methodist point of view is very much love and enjoyment.
Yeah.
And
I mean, a lot of people have become disconnected from religion because of that. Because
absolutely.
it's fuddy-duddy and old. And I know that from going to Roman Catholic.
You know,
I think it's
I'm very conflicted. There are those that come round with their little booklets, and Mum used to always take the time, so I do as well. I never throw them away, I never kick them off the doorstep. I'll quite happily have a conversation with them because they talk about general life.
Yeah, me too.
So I don't stand there and say, will you? Because I've had enough of you. And other people will look at me and say, well, I just shut the door and tell them I'm doing something. I said, well, I'm not like that. I said, I don't know whether I believe, but I will say now that particularly after having Mum ill, which has been a number of years, and losing Dad, I do pray. I don't know why. I honestly don't know why, and I'm quite happy to admit that in front of this video. I pray, and if I need guidance and I'm there at night and I've got...
trying to sort stuff out in your own head.
Yeah, but if I've got a lot of things going on and I lay there and I've gone to bed early or whatever and I can't sleep, I'll say, well, who else am I going to talk to? I mean, you know,
But do you
like that.
find, though, as you get more mature, that you are looking for something? I always feel myself now looking for something for when it happens. So I know I've still got quite a few years ahead, but I want comfort, and sometimes I feel that, you know, I mean, I walk past the graveyard and I'll talk to my granddad. I know he's not there, I know he's around and about somewhere doing whatever he needs to do, but it is that comfort kind of thing, so...
Well, definitely if I need comfort at night, then I will pray. If during the day I just feel a bit lost over something that's gone on, I'll either go over and sit on my mum and dad's bench, which is in the churchyard, or I'll go and have 5 or 10 minutes with them at the grave. Well, I buried my aunt, my dad's sister, a couple of weeks ago, and I decided that I would go and have 10 minutes with my gran and granddad, because I'd not seen them for a while. Kind of say, right, you've got them both back now, look after them. That's basically what I say a lot of the time at night. Okay, I hope they're all with you, you're keeping them as safe as you tried to do when they were alive.
Yeah.
Guide me as best you can if possible and try and help me with the situations that I'm in that I'm not happy with. Does that mean I believe? I don't really know, but I do it. Why do I do it? So there's got to be some belief there, otherwise I wouldn't do it. Am I completely convinced? Probably not. But I'll kind of, well, I'll give it a shot because it can't harm, can it?
Yeah.
Any help from anybody can't harm. So I try and tell people if they've got a problem. And they might not be able to solve it, but if it gets it off your mind and clears you so you can rest a little bit more easily, then surely that's a help.
Yeah, no, I agree
If
with
that was the idea with some people earlier on saying, right, maybe there is, maybe there isn't, but if we give them something to talk to relate to, that will ease their mind, is that a bad thing? Is he there or not? Maybe it doesn't really matter.
It's that comfort. Yeah.
It's something to go to that might help you. It might relieve your stress and relieve your mind if nothing else.
Fantastic, guys. I'm really going to have to stop you, and that's a shame.
We could have gone on for quite some time, I think.
You could. It's called light blue touch paper and retire immediately. Thanks a huge lot for taking part in this, and
I'd like to know why we were chosen.